Okay, for postmodernism, I am going to be talking about modern day sports team fandoms. Um, and I think I'll just get into it. So, the purpose of postmodernism: create your own truth within a community. The problem: there are people who are not a part of your truth, there are other communities, and they have their own truths. And the solution is to disprove the other group's truths so that yours is the only truth that isn't not true. And I think that this is pretty commonly found in sports team fandoms, really across any sports, like professional sports. I'll just talk about like the NFL. Um, and I think it's very, very, very prevalent with like certain, sports teams in the NFL, football teams and their fans and how they treat each other. So, like, an example would be like how some Vikings and like Packers fans will talk and stuff. They'll basically make these claims like, "Oh, we're the best team, whatever. You guys suck." But they won't like. But then they'll maybe make claims that just like aren't even true. Um, and but they won't try and prove those claims. Instead, they'll just like bash the other team and try and say that they suck, whatever. I think it's really easy to get into that. I see that all the time. Every NFL season, I honestly kind of see a lot of hypocrisy among fans, and um, I think it's kind of annoying, but whatever. So, what's valued with sports team fandoms? Um, Basically, I would say like pride in your own community and supporting your team. Um, and I would say that sports isn't all just like dumb people hating each other. There is a lot of good unity among even like rivalries. You can find a lot of mutual respect between them. And ultimately, it's just a game at the end of the day, and people are having fun, and people can get, a bit riled up. But ultimately, people aren't like hating each other. It can get to that, but it doesn't always. Things that are wrong, I would say bad sportsmanship. In most, like in a real good sports team fandom, bad sportsmanship should always be wrong and avoided because at the end of the day, it's just a game, and there's no point in getting super angry and mad over a game. It doesn't really matter. But I think that still some people don't always get that message. What are some obstacles and threats? I would say the obstacles and threats to like the values are the other sports teams, especially like a rival team, um, and other fans like toxic fans who might be calling your team trash or whatever. That's probably an obstacle. And the solution, in a lot of cases, the solution is just to trash talk back at them and say that their team sucks. You know, like I mean, that's not how every fandom works. Not everybody is just some, moron who hates each other, but that is something that can certainly be found in sports teams and, NFL and stuff like that. So, how does the gospel respond to this? Well, first up, I would say the gospel definitely condemns any disunity, any quarreling, any uh, any like arguing over just vain topics and things that ultimately don't matter and getting so hung over these worldly things like sports. And I might sneeze. Basically, the gospel, I would say, promotes peace and unity, which can certainly be found in sports fandoms, with mutual respect and good sportsmanship. Um, So that's good. Other things that the gospel would respond to is probably don't get so obsessed over sports. I mean, it's okay to like sports, but if you make it an idol in your life, eventually the fruits of that idol will just change you into just being a moron, I think. And eventually you'll just get super angry for no reason at things like, yelling at a TV or, going out of your way to like hurt somebody just because they're wearing a different colored jersey than you. So ultimately, the gospel, I think, would tell us to focus on things in heaven and God rather than things on earth. But, you know, it's not like you can still like something, just don't make it an idol. but then also the gospel would actually encourage more action within these communities to, like, be respectful, have good sportsmanship, be kind with others, and have unity despite your differences. So yeah, that would be postmodernism.